Hi and welcome to my channel. I'm Simon and this is the start of a new weekly reading vlog. I am currently on the last full day of my holiday in Sal, one of the Cape Verdean islands off the coast of Africa, and I've just had the most amazing 40th birthday week. I filmed lots of bookish things, but mainly going off and swimming with sharks and swimming in volcano craters and all kinds of stuff, which I will link in my previous vlog down below. It is the last day, so it's a pool day. Purposefully decided to have a chilled last day by the pool, but also a spa day, so shortly off to go and have a deep tissue massage, cannot wait. And then a papaya and pineapple wrap, exfoliating body wrap or something like that. Anyway, pineapple, it had me at pineapple. I love pineapples, and I'm hoping that that means on the plane tomorrow I'm going to smell like a pina colada. Everyone will want to sit next to me. What I haven't decided is what I'm going to read next. I have 8 options because I took 10 books on holiday with me and read 2. What those 2 were will be in that last reading vlog that I mentioned. So now, well not now, maybe after I've had a massage, I need to decide which of these I'm going to head to next. I think it's going to be one of the bottom 3. I thought it was going to be Rachel's Holiday by Marianne Keyes, but I'm just not quite in the mood for it and I don't know why. And what I really want to do in my 40th year is read a lot more by whim. And well, going into my 4th decade really, read a lot more by whim. It's something that I don't do enough, and yet it's often how I find the most enjoyable reads. Anyway, so I shall do some whim picking later, but for now I need to get all ready to be massaged with an inch of my life before being wrapped in papaya and pineapple. Oof. Just off to go and see the final sunset of the week in Sal. You cried again? Cried into your little boy?
Cried into my ear. Your turn.
Morning everyone, it is Sunday the 27th of March and it's our last morning in Sal. We're all packed, sad. Been out for breakfast and Chris is just going to go out sort of boarding passes and see if we can donate some of our clothes and stuff that we don't want to different organisations on the island. And then we're going to have some time by the pool before we head to the airport. And I started the Ryan O'Connell yesterday, and then what did I say in my previous vlog? I said I wasn't going to do anything work-based while I'm on holiday, and even though that book sounds so fun and the penis element drew me in, I mean, how could it not? But and it was fun. I was like, no, because I'm starting to think like an interviewer, not just like a reader. And so what I've decided to do is pick up Joanna Cannon's A Tidy Ending, because it's a book I really want to read. I'm trying to read much more by whim and what I really want to, when I want to. I love Joanna Cannon, I love her books, and I'm really excited for this one. I think it's about a woman whose husband is going out on lots of different nights and people are going missing or something like that. So it has got a thriller element to it, but I also know it'll be really funny, really poignant, thought-provoking, great characters, and just what I need by the pool and on the plane on the way home. So that is going to be my next read. Also, I was thinking, when I get back, I'll probably, and I say probably because I need to have a little bit of a think about it, head back to the Women's Prize longlist books. And so this might otherwise languish for a while. I want to get to it before it comes out and be able to shout about it in advance, because I just know I'm going to love it. Joanna Cannon is one of those authors for me. I just know I'm going to love her books. So there we go. I hope I won't curse that now. Anyway, moving on, I need to get ready to go to the pool and then have a bit of reading time and make our way home. I made that sound like it'll be like 5 minutes. It won't, it'll be about 8 hours. to the garden centre. I've had my hair chopped. Hi everyone, it is about 7:30 actually in the evening on Monday the 28th of March, and today is one of those days where you wake up, I don't know if you've had these sort of days, but you wake up and you wake up quite early and you think, oh, I've got all of this day ahead of me, which happened to me at 7 a.m. and then suddenly it was 10:30 and I was still in bed and hadn't achieved anything other than catching up with some booktube, which was lovely of course. And then I was like, oh, I already have stuff to do. And the first thing I decided I wanted to do was go and get my hair cut. So I did that. And then when Chris picked me up, I was like, oh, should we get like a nice tapas tea tonight from M&S? So we drove there. Then we had a wander around there. Then we spotted the range was nearby. And my sister had got me a really lovely vase for my birthday. But it had smashed because too much parcels were put together after my surprise that wasn't a surprise birthday party last week. So I went to go and get a replacement because I felt awful about that happening. And then while I was there, I spotted these two and just thought, hello, I want those. That is so cheeky and slightly distracting, but I really, really love it. Although I'm no longer happy with, I can say this, that's my face, but I'm very happy with my hair actually. I think I just wanted to get rid of the pandemic locks, have a bit of a change. 40, I don't know, the blonde long thing, it just wasn't working for me anymore. But what isn't actually working for me at the moment is this shelf here. I feel like I need to sort that out and rearrange it, and before I do any, like, not that this isn't proper filming, but like before I make a whole video, although I have just done, which is why I'm sat here, a video of me opening all of the posts that came while I was away for my Patreons. So we ended up going around a garden centre, which you'll have seen a clip of because I looked derangedly happy that Chris let me buy the most outrageous coloured flower. Chris very much likes his sort of subtles, whereas you can see bits in the garden where I've been and bought something because there's a bit of craziness going on in terms of colour. I like colour, what can I say? And that has been the day. Now, reading wise, I haven't done any, and I'm now in a real dilemma because I started Joanna Cannon's latest book on the plane, A Tidy Ending, but I didn't finish it because we had quite a bit of turbulence. And then because we were flying later on, they do that thing where they dim the cabin and you don't want to have a reading light on because you don't want to upset other people around you. So I ended up watching Tomb Raider, which was all right. It wasn't great. It wasn't as good as the Angelina Jolie one, Simon Breathe. And then now I've got Flamingo there, which I started before I went away, and I'm about halfway through. And it's one of the women's prize books, which are there, and I'm feeling a bit like that about. And then I've got the Joanna Cannon, but also I'm going away now for a few days, so I need to work out what I'm going to pack to travel for work. So I'm just all a bit up in the air, and also I don't know if I'm filming book club or not with Melanie this week, and do I need to read that? If so, and by the way, if you wonder what's going on with my hand down here, it's an Oscar. He's having a cuddle with me on the sofa. That's where we are. What a lot of waffle. I have edited though my vlog from last week, which you'll have seen, so that feels like something, although at the same time it is a holiday still until tomorrow when I go back to work, so I shouldn't be stressing out about stuff, and I did say that I wouldn't, and I already am, so I need to learn. But yeah, now I'm like, do I pick up Flamingo? Do I pick up A Tidy Ending? What books am I gonna pack? Reading, honestly, it's a first world problem, but it is a problem. Hey everyone, it's now Tuesday the 29th of March. I have been back at work this morning. It's now about 11:45 and I've got to go and get a train to Surrey shortly, as tomorrow I'm going to be being immersed, which sounds quite ominous, in augmented reality and virtual reality at Story Futures as part of my new day job and the project that I'm working with libraries over the summer. So there's going to be lots of lovely librarians there too tomorrow, and I am really, really looking forward to it. Bit nervous because anything new, always a bit wary of. What I did want to let you know though is all change on the reading front, because I didn't read anything yesterday in the end. I spent the last day of my holiday holidaying from books. We ended up watching Fresh, which is a movie on Disney Plus, which is described as a thriller, although I would describe it more as a dark, gory, disturbing, twisty beast of a kind of camp film. But really, really, really enjoyed it. I will say it is gory and bloody, so if those aren't your things, don't head to it, but if they are, you might enjoy this. But it meant no reading. And what I'm doing is, Melanie and I are going to be recording book club on Thursday. We've been meaning to do book club for so long, but my diary has been horrific and Melanie's been moving house and all sorts, so we just haven't got round to it. But we are finally going to be filming all about migrations by Charlotte McConaughey, this book here that I'm holding. And so I need to read this book here that I'm holding. So that is what I'm going to do on the way there before Thursday. On the train to Surrey though, you have to change at London and you end up in Waterloo where Foyles is. And it's a really good Foyles actually, although like Blackwell's, Foyles, well, Blackwell's is newer than the Foyles acquisition actually. It's owned by Waterstones, and I just don't know how I feel about these two, you know, book chains that are technically, well, were independent chains and celebrated that, now actually being part of a much bigger chain. Anyway, some lovely friends and family gave me some spends for books for my birthday, so I think I'm gonna see what takes my fancy there and pick that up. And it may be, because some of you might be thinking, Simon, what's going on with you and the Women's Prize for Fiction? I'm just not massively drawn to the long list at the moment. And there are a few of the chunksters that are now in paperback, so I could end up getting one of them, maybe. But yeah, I don't know. And the ones that I am drawn to, I don't want to batter about. So I'm more likely to head to them later on this week when I return. So it might be that I pick up some of the Booker International long list, because I'm much more excited about that long list this year. Isn't that weird? Anyway, so I'm going to pop migrations in my bag now, and then off we go to the train. Hi everyone, it's later on, and when I said I wanted new adventures in my 40s, I didn't think staying in student accommodation would be one of them, but I am. I'm in a halls of residence right now here at the University of Royal Holloway. Imagine where I am for the immersion into augmented reality and virtual reality tomorrow for my day job. I've had a little bit of shocking news in the fact that my stepdad has had an accident with an electric circular saw in his hand, and it sounds like he's lost a finger, but hopefully the rest of his hand is okay. I probably shouldn't be saying on here, but that's going on with me. I found that out once I got here, so I can't use that as an excuse for why I bought so many books, but let's pretend that's why I bought so many books and roll with it. Because I probably sound like I'm a bit not bothered, but I am bothered about my stepdad, but like I've had time to process, it's quite late now. But I thought I would show you this book haul from Foyles. I went wild and got 5 books. And I picked up, I thought this was probably going to be one that I picked up, Catherine Chidgey's Remote Sympathy. I already have this in hardback, but I would like to take this around with me this week and get reading it and get more into it. I found the first bit a little bit dense, but I'm going to see how I get on with Frau Greta's voice, and we'll see how we go on, and then probably intermingle it with other books, such as possibly, who could say, Happy Stories Mostly by Norman Erickson Pasaribu, and is translated by Tiffany Chow. And these are queer short stories from, I don't know what country they're from actually. Are they from Korea? I don't know. Jakarta, so completely the wrong place. I'm really looking forward to getting to these. I was going to read Tilted Access books in order, one like a month or two a month, but I think I'm just going to try and read all the ones that are out already by the end of the year. That's kind of an aim, and this is number 24. Then we have, if I get next, also from the International Booker, I got Cursed Bunny by Bora Chung, and this is more short stories, and these are translated by Anton He. He's translated 2 of the books on the list, and these are from Korea, and apparently they're genre-defying and blurring the lines between magical realism, horror and science fiction. So very excited for this one. I could alternate some short stories between reading those different parts of the book. I could have asked for the publisher for this, but I decided to buy it because I saw it, and it's Paradise by Fernanda Melchor. I have a feeling about this one, and this is kind of the one that I most want to read at the moment. Don't know what it's about, I have no idea. I've seen that there's not a lot of paragraphs, so that could be interesting, but there's a break in the middle, so who knows what's going on there, but that's one that I could come to very soon. And then, last but certainly not least, because it's blinking huge, is Tomb of Sand by Gitanjali Shri, translated by Daisy Rockwell from Indian, possibly. No, who was it translated from? It doesn't say. It says who it's translated by, but it doesn't say from what language. So anyway, but this I really fancy, like spending a weekend with, and just getting completely and utterly lost in it. It's been a long time since I've done that with the book, and the chapters are really nice and short, so it could be possible. It's a whole. How many pages? Doesn't say. 730 odd. So yeah, exciting. So those are the books that I got. I am now going to order some food and then watch some booktube before cracking on and reading. I'm waiting to hear from Mel if we are going to film book club this week or possibly not now. And maybe do it in April instead, in which case I'll hold off starting migrations. But yeah, there is a little book haul from these student halls in the University of Royal Holloway, which I keep calling the University of Roehampton. I hope I'm at the right place. I will catch you all later on. Bye.
The next station is Leytonstone. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
This book cannot see the future. This book is dabbling in the past. This book is not about funerals, although funerals are mentioned. You do not have to wear black to read this work. Sorry about that.
Testing coming. Hi everyone, it is early evening on Thursday the 31st of March. I have not had a catch up with you for a little while. I've taken a few snapshots here and there. I have been a little bit bonkers busy. I got back from London earlier on this afternoon and did something very naughty, which was to buy a book before I got on the train, another book, one that I didn't have and one that I've started and read 100 pages of, and we'll talk to you about shortly because I'm in a real dilemma about it now, because now that I'm back here, I feel like I should be going to the Women's Prize books again. So anyway, what has happened in the last 24, 48 hours? So the last time I spoke to you was when I was in student halls at the University of Royal Holloway, which is where I got this. Go Bears! I don't even know if it's a rugby team, if it's a football team or what, but I love bears. My nickname with many of my friends is Sugar Bear, hence why I've got this tattoo right here. Sorry, Oscar's coming for a little bit of a cuddle. Oscar, please, I'm trying to talk to the people. Yeah, so I was at Royal Holloway because I was taking part in a training course that part of the project I'm with Story Trails. The company who are running it, along with David Olashoga's company, are called Story Futures, and they are one of the leading developers of augmented reality and virtual reality. And Savage Reads became augmented reality yesterday. I will put a picture here of me with augmented reality me. It blew my mind a little bit, and also what blows my mind even more is I'm not very techie, and I made that happen. So I learned a lot doing that, and it was just lovely to be with lots of the libraries that I'm going to be working with and their staff who had come for the training day, and to get to meet the team at Story Futures, who I've done lots of Zooms with but never met in the flesh, and they were all lovely. So that was really, really good. I then left that after doing the augmented reality and some amazing virtual reality as well, actually. It does blow my mind a little bit what these things can do and how amazing they are, and like how we're going to be turning like people's stories into augmented reality and making like a ride out of it. I just can't quite get my head around. It's going to be amazing. Anyway, I'll be taking on that journey as it develops, and indeed when it's happening in the summer. But this is the Project Story Trails that means I'm going to be traveling for all of May pretty much, and the first half of June. Then I get 2 weeks off, and then I'm away from home for 15 weeks again because I'm touring all those libraries again. A little bit slower though, because doing all 15 libraries in like something like 6 weeks is quite a thing, because I'm also filming Sky Arts Book Club Series 3 in May. I think I'm allowed to say that. Maybe I'm not allowed to say that. Well, I've just said it. So yeah, I'm back on the show. Anyway, and hopefully still doing my social media stuff as well, because I've been enjoying presenting that by myself. Speaking of which, if you go to the Sky Arts Book Club Facebook group, which is always linked below in my videos, you can see the video that I did with Hanya Yanagihara. So anyway, yeah, so I went there, but then I had to leave because I was at the final event of BBC Novels That Shaped Our World. It's one of our legacy events which we were doing with Redbridge, and we were at Wanstead Library, and Selena Godden was part of it, and I love Selena, and it was a whole event on death and literature as part of Death Positive Libraries, which is something that I'm really like behind, because I think we need to talk more about grief and death, and we don't, and yet it's the one true certainty in all of our lives. So yeah, there was that was brill, and just such a good event to end it on. And then today I've been doing like the last bits of admin and everything with Tess. I took Tess out for a thank you dinner last night at my favourite restaurant, well, one of my favourite restaurants, The Dell in London, and we just had the loveliest time, and I know I've made like a lifelong friend with her. So yeah, we were only meant to work together, I think it was for something like 9 months, and we've ended up working together because of the Panda Pop for over 2 years, and she's been to stay and stuff. And yeah, so that was all that. Went to Honey & Co as well this morning, all about the food, frankly. Zadell last night, Honey & Co this morning, which I've always wanted to go to, and had the most delicious breakfast. I did actually buy Chris a present while I was away in Waterstones today, and it's a project that I think I'm going to get him to do over the next few weeks. We've been talking about it and he wants to do it. It's Summer Kitchens by Olia Hercules, and these are all Ukrainian recipes, and Chris is going to film a week's worth of meals out of this, and all the AdSense, so all the money from that video will go to a Ukrainian charity. So I think that's a really nice idea. Let me know your thoughts on that. Then when I was also in Waterstones, that's when I saw Vagabonds by Elagashoa Sunday, and I just, oh, ow, Oscar, it just sounded amazing. And because I've just been so here and there and everywhere with my reading recently, I was like, oh gosh, Oscar wants to make a bed next to me. But because I've been so here, there and everywhere with my reading recently, I think I was like, oh, I do have some new books that I bought in my bag, but this is what I want to read right now. And so I've read like 100 and something pages of it. It's told through the sidekick of a spirit, a city spirit, or the spirit of a whole city, or is it even the whole of Nigeria? Anyway, and we get to meet some of the people who live there who are falling into this spirit world, and it's going to kind of develop on from there, I think. I'm really enjoying it. But as I was saying, now that I'm back, I really feel like I need to head back to Flamingo and get really cracking with the Women's Prize books, because me and Mum want to film a video predicting or choosing what will go on our shortlist personally, or predicting the shortlist, whatever you want to see it, because she's coming to stay. Well, we're going to Italy together, and I think she's going to come and stay beforehand, because they're going a few days before we are, and then we're staying a few days after they go. And I should say, my stepdad's doing very well. He has lost a finger, but he's as all right as can be. I want to get through all of these books so that I can have that conversation with my mum. So I need to have a think about it really, but I've just realised I've talked for nearly 7 minutes, and that's a very long time. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'm back at home. I am off tomorrow, so I've no plans, so I'll see. Will it be that I finish Vagabonds, or will I head and finish Flamingo? I want to finish one of them either way. I shall report back then, because I think I'm going to take Saturday off vlogging. I'll explain for why tomorrow, but yeah, that's that. Hi everyone, it is now Friday late afternoon. It's Friday the 1st of April, April Fool's Day, although I haven't seen any April Fools or heard any mention today. And yeah, I thought that was like, I don't know, when I was younger I feel like it was a really big thing, April Fool's Day, and now it doesn't seem to be. Although I do wonder, with everything going on in the world, are people just a bit like, actually, let's not have any April Fools right now because it's just not the time? I don't know, or maybe it's just gone out of fashion. Anyway, that's not what you're here to hear me talk about. You're here to find out if I finished a book, and yes, I have, which after the last week feels like a real achievement. And if you've any tips for how to kind of, when you're going through a bit of a, it's not a reading funk that I'm going through, I just can't seem to decide what I want to read. And when I do start reading, I'm getting sidetracked by a lot of things. I call it like magpie vision, when you're always kind of looking at something, oh, I want to read that now, oh no, I've started that now, actually I want to read that, and everything's all over the place. Let me know. I think it could be the fact that BBC Novels That Shaped Our World project was ending, so I've been working on that. I also had loads to learn with the augmented reality stuff, and also back from holiday, bit of a shock getting into the swing of things, although it was happening a little bit before holiday and during. But anyway, if you've any tips, let me know. So I did finish a book. Was it Vagabonds or was it Flamingos? It was Flamingo, not Flamingos, by Rachel Elliott. And I'm still processing this book, so I don't know how I 100% feel about it, but I will say I was lukewarm at the beginning. In fact, no, I judged it by the cover and didn't think it was going to be for me before I started it. Then when I did start it, I was a bit lukewarm about it. And then once I got into it, and particularly Daniel's story in the present, and then going back and meeting his mother and finding out about a relationship that she had with a woman next door, that's when I really got into it. And also because when we went into the past, as I think I mentioned earlier in this video, I feel like I've talked about it somewhere at some point anyway, it really started to play with language, and somebody in the comments said it reminded them, I feel like it might have been Cindy, but somebody said it reminded them of Ali Smith, and that's exactly what it was starting to do for me after like the first third, and then I really got into it. And I do think Rachel Elliott can really write. I just think that bit at the beginning, I don't know if it was 100% necessary, and possibly detracts from the novel, and may, for some, if they don't enjoy that bit, just mean that they ditch it. And actually, once you get into sort of the past narrative more, into why Daniel's in the situation that he is, and this, what flows on from there, and the secrets from the past that you discover, and all of that, and the look at sexuality, and the look at single parent. I mean, this did chime with me because Daniel's mum is a single mum in the 80s when I was with my mum, who was a single mum in the 80s. So yeah, there was that I really enjoyed too. So there was lots that I liked about this. I just think the beginning and endings of books are so important. I mean, that sounds like a really stupid thing to say because it's really obvious, but if you're not drawn in enough, and I think the language wasn't drawing me in as much, it was almost like, I can't quite work it out. It was like Rachel Elliott didn't really get into the full swing of how brilliant her writing was until, like I say, after that sort of first quarter, first third. And then I just thought it was great. I'll talk about it more when I've sort of let it settle with me a bit in the next wrap-up I do, so my March wrap-up, which will be probably in the next week or so. So yeah, but I'm glad I read it, and it has made me think, oh, maybe I should read, because I had read Rachel Elliott when she was last on the Women's Prize long list, but I'd just forgotten about the book, and I don't think I will forget this one, because there's certain topics, particularly around like homelessness and mental health, and what, you know, leads us into those situations, and how they can be got out of, is really interesting. And like I said, that sort of Ali Smith like writing in parts, I really it. It was just the playing with words and the joy of playing with words and language, and how daft our language is, but also how brilliant it is, and how complex it is, and how fun it is. Yeah, that's what I really enjoyed about it. So there we go, that's my thoughts on Flamingo for now. I don't know if I'm gonna stop this vlog here, and I don't know when I'll start the next one, but I think what I am going to do with the next one is try and see how many Women's Prize books I can read in a week, because me and Mum do want to make that video hopefully in a couple of weeks, and so I need to get a wriggle on. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that I haven't read, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 that I've read some of. So I don't know. I think the way I'm feeling a bit about the Women's Prize is I'll carry on reading them, but if I'm not enjoying them, I'll stop. And then if any of the ones that I stop are on the shortlist, I'll go back to them and then read the shortlist in full. I don't know what it is this year. I mean, I love the Women's Prize, but something about the list this year isn't like setting me on fire. And maybe it's this magpie thing. There's just loads of other books at the moment where I'm like, oh, I'd much rather read that right now. Oh, I'd much rather read that right now. And then that feels like mean to a prize that I love so much. So if you have any thoughts on how I get myself out of that dichotomy within my own brain, then please let me know. But if you get this far, I would love you to leave me an emoji of a peach, because of the new vase that I got that I love so much, and that you would have seen behind me in some of this video. Until the next one, thanks for watching, and please in the comments down below, like I said, let me know how I deal with sort of this. I feel like I'm cheating on a prize when I don't want to read everything on the long list. Like, what is that all about this year? I don't know what it is. But also how you get out of these sort of magpie wanting to read everything but not quite being sure what you want to read, and then starting and stopping and all that kind of stuff. What tips have you got for this desperate reader right now? That would be very, very helpful too. I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.